Well, Anwyl Gyfeillion, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you unaccustomed to Aberystwyth, it does rain occasionally in Aberystwyth, why of course the countryside is so green and wonderful. I'm Emyr Jones-Parry. I had the privilege to be the Chancellor of the University. Croeso cynnes iawn i'r seremoni hon sy'n achlysur o arwyddocâd arbennig y mywyd bob un ohonoch. Pob un sy'n cael ei cydnabod heddiw i chafbwynt sawl blynedd o waith caled ac ymdrech. Gallwch ymfalchio yn eich cyflawniad ac yn eich llwyddiant. A very warm welcome to you all to this ceremony, a special day for all of us, but particularly for the graduates, the culmination of many years of hard work and effort. We congratulate you on the achievements being recognized today. I'd also like to welcome Professor Elizabeth Treasure, our new Vice-Chancellor, and to wish her a long and successful tenure. On behalf of the University, and I'm sure you, the graduands, I want to thank the staff, many of whom are on the platform today, to thank them for what they've done to bring you to this particular moment. Your success, which we celebrate today, is due in part to the support, the sacrifice, the love of all those people assembled here, your families, your friends. So this is a day for them, every bit as much as it is a day for you. So I'd now like to ask you, the graduands, please to stand, face your supporters, and by your applause, show your appreciation of what they've done to bring you to this occasion. If you could stand, please. Diolch yn fawr iawn i chi. Diolch yn fawr. Now, I don't usually read a prepared text, but graduation is too important for me just to ad-lib, as it were. But I had a colleague in yesteryear who regularly delivered the self-same speech once a week when he went out to set out the virtues of the United Nations. He came out one night and the driver said, "Where are we off?" And he said, "Yale." So as they were driving, the driver said, "Please, not that same speech again." He said, "I could deliver that." My colleague said, "Well, in that case, you deliver it. They don't know me in Yale, so I'll pretend to be the driver and you can deliver the speech." And that's what happened. My colleague sat in the back, the driver delivered the speech. Word perfect. The only problem was the first question was an absolute sod, criticized the basic premise of the speech and put forward a counter proposition. And the driver looked at him and said, "You know, that is such a dumb, stupid question. I'm going to ask my driver to answer it." Well, Aberystwyth University delivers first-rate teaching which draws on the excellence of the research being undertaken here, no more than in the cases of the departments represented here today. It offers you an experience as students which is genuinely life-changing. Do you all remember pitching up for freshers? There you were, uncertain, lacking a bit of confidence, not quite sure what was happening. Where are you now? You've pursued academic courses with rigor, taken part in a multitude of different activities, and crucially, I hope, trained your minds. You can think logically, criticize, examine arguments. I look especially to the students of Interpol. As I look at the politics of the United Kingdom, my friends, your contribution is desperately needed. So please use those skills you've got. Because before us here is a self-confident audience whose talents have been unlocked by their experience in Aberystwyth. And you leave having had the particular benefits of studying in a Welsh institution. Politics in our DNA. That's why we have the oldest Department of International Relations in the world is the one you've been studying in Aberystwyth. And I recall the lifelong member of the Welsh Labour Party who on his very deathbed did the awful thing as seen by his comrades. He joined the Conservative Party. And when admonished by his comrades, he said, well, better that one of them should pass than one of us. Well, Aberystwyth will always fulfill its duty to Wales, its language and its culture. It's firmly rooted in Wales, but crucially connected globally, open to the world, and determined to compete internationally. There are more than 160 universities in the United Kingdom, and we're all competing for a declining number of students. Unless we manage that competition, we will be in difficulty. And that's the challenge for all of us. But that's why Aberystwyth, with confidence, is facing the future, because we are addressing the challenges. And it's based on a splendid history. History goes back many years, but we're conscious of our obligation too, to contribute to the economy, to develop skills, to be accountable to you, the students, to the staff, to the local community, to governments. But accountability is not the same as giving up on your autonomy. We're autonomous, we pride ourselves on academic freedom, but we're accountable for how we exercise those privileges. Ewch gyda chi hefyd a bydd y profiad o astudio mewn prifysgol yng Nghymru a'r dimensiwn arbennig ar rhoddodd hynny I chi. Mae Prifysgol Aberystwyth wedi bod erioed ac y mae'n parhau I fod yn hollol ymwybodol o'i dyletswydd diamod tuag at Gymru fel cenedl a tuag at yr iaith Gymraeg a'i ddiwylliant. You're embarking on the next stage of life's journey. Today's qualifications are but a first investment on your personal portfolios of skills. You're going to have to keep updating those as you go along. The world is changing at a frenetic pace in directions that none of us can imagine at this stage. But you are going to have to adapt and be flexible in response to those changes. Can I ask you, as you do that, to be ambitious? Aim high, because you never know what you can achieve until you've actually tried. You've demonstrated by virtue of being here today what you've already achieved. Now, how much more can you do? Be ambitious and go for it. Because in Aberystwyth, as we look out, the setting sun, the horizon of the sea represents infinity. That ought to be the limit of your ambitions. Aspiration without limits. And Aberystwyth has been special because of its welcoming environment. Lifelong friendships have been forged, and you are now about to become graduates of the university. Aberystwyth will be your alma mater, and there'll always, of course, be a welcome for you here. I wish you every future success. Build on what you have achieved, but recognize too your responsibility to put something back into society. You make a difference in what you then do. As Churchill put it, you make a living by what you earn, you make a life by what you give. And you live, fortunately, in a country where you have many rights, long established, but rights don't come without responsibilities. Please exercise your responsibilities. Because the serious bit I want to say to you is that I believe my generation, by virtue of some of the decisions it's encouraged in recent times, has let you down. You've let yourselves down because you didn't turn out in large enough numbers to vote. Because as a group, your views are different from my generation's. And the consequences of those decisions are going to be very hard. I ask you, especially those interested in politics, please exercise your right to take part, and please make a difference. And now to the stars of this day, enjoy the thrill of your success, celebrate in the company of those who delight in your achievement. Boed I heddiw I bob un ohonoch, bod yn ddydd o lawen chwedl, ynghyd â'r rhai sydd yn golygu gymaint I chi. Have a memorable day, enjoy yourselves, as you leave with the very best wishes of this university. You are the future. We're proud of you, and moreover, we're confident that you will fulfill your ambitions. Many congratulations again. Llongyfarchiadau. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you very much indeed.
Shwmai pawb, mae yn hynrydedd mawr I siarad gyda chi ar achlysau mor arbennig. Good evening. I'm excited and honoured to be here speaking to you on such a special occasion as your Students' Union Opportunities Officer. We are here today to share and celebrate the amazing achievements that you and all your graduating students have made here at Aberystwyth in your university careers, and especially over the past year. AberSU is proud to represent such caring, talented and enthusiastic students, and you've all shown your dedication to your studies, each other and the Aberystwyth community. You are what makes being part of AberSU incredible, and why we were awarded the NUS Wales Union of the Year this year. Year on year, students at Aberystwyth University achieve incredible things, and this year has been no exception. While students here are dedicated to their academic endeavours, over 3,000 of you also put your heart and soul into student union clubs, societies and academic representation, which are all key parts of your university experience. The fantastic efforts of our students have seen 2 Bucks League wins, 4 National Society Awards, 5 students competing for Wales in rugby, lacrosse, hockey and ultimate frisbee, and countless national Welsh and British records and medals being brought home in sports such as archery, kickboxing and octopus, just to name a few. And whilst these titles show outwardly how amazing students here are, more importantly, through these activities, you have gained memories and friends which will stay with you for a lifetime, and a true testament to your time here at Aberystwyth. In your commitment to the local community and national charities, students, in conjunction with Team Aber Sports and Societies, have raised over £20,000 for raising and giving throughout this academic year. For your SU charities of the year, Mind Aberystwyth and Wales Air Ambulance and the Teenage Cancer Trust, and others close to our student hearts. Our students have been particularly supportive in Mind Aberystwyth this year through our Stefan Socks campaign, and it is clear that Aberystwyth students are passionate about mental well-being and ensuring those who need it can find support at difficult times. We are proud to be such an inclusive and supportive community and want our students to be happy and healthy here. Our community here would be nothing without the strong Welsh culture and vibrant Welsh language, and we are thankful that Aberystwyth University continues to commit to this. This year, we are especially thankful to the commitment to Welsh language provision with Adwedion Aber, including university support for free UMCA membership for Welsh language students. You will all be moving on to bright futures and inspiring careers, but you will always be part of the Aberystwyth and AberSU family. You are joining a proud history of Aberystwyth alumni, one aspect of which is the Old Students Association, which you might even notice are present here today. This shows that no matter how far you travel or how much time passes, you will always be welcome back here. We can't wait to hear what exceptional things you go on to achieve, and are proud that Aberystwyth and AberSU have helped you achieve a very proud moment. Pob luck gyda'ch dyfodol. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Good luck with the future and thank you very much.
Gora awen gwirionedd. Bydded hysbys i aelodau'r Brifysgol ac i bawb sydd yn bresennol ac yn halu'r cynulliad awdurdodedig heddiw yma yn nhref Aberystwyth. Awdurdod Siarter Brenhinol Prifysgol Aberystwyth yr ydym yn ymgynnull i dderbyn i'w priod raddau fyfyrwyr sydd trwy efrydiaeth yn y Brifysgol a trwy ddysg, medr a dyfal barhad wedi teilyngu'r cyfriw raddau. Dathlan eu llwyddiant yn y gobaith y cant mwynhau iechyd a hir hoedol i wasanaethu eu hoes a'i cenhedloedd, a thrwy eu hymdrechion a'i cyflawniadau y cyfrannant at wybodaeth a bydd cenedlaethau i ddod ac ymrafol ar heriau sy'n wynebu'n byd. Nid byd, byd heb wybodaeth. Gora a yn gwirionedd, the best inspiration is truth. Let it be known to members of the university and to all here present that today an authorised congregation is being held here in the town of Aberystwyth. By the authority of the Royal Charter of Aberystwyth University, we meet to admit to their appropriate degrees those students who have, through study at the university and through learning, ability and perseverance, been deemed worthy of their degrees. We celebrate their success in the hope that they may be given health and long life to serve their generation and their countries, but also that through their efforts and achievements, they may contribute to knowledge and well-being for future generations and confront the challenges that face our world. A world without knowledge is no world at all. Nid byd, byd heb wybodaeth.
Ganghelllo, is-ganghelllo, darpar addedigion, gyfaillion, mae'n bleser gen I gyflwyno Lance Bachelor yn Gymraeg Prifysgol Aberystwyth. Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, prospective graduates and supporters, it is an honour and privilege to present Lance Bachelor as a Fellow of Aberystwyth University. Lance has an impressive CV in the world of business. He is currently Group Chief Executive Officer of Saga, the travel, insurance and healthcare group for the over 50s. He is also an Abergraduate who studied for a BSc Econ in International Politics and Strategic Studies here in the 1980s. After graduating, he went on to an 8-year career in the Royal Navy. During this time, he became the navigating officer on a nuclear submarine and rose to the rank of Flag Lieutenant to the Flag Officer's submarines. Lance then returned to the world of higher education, studying for an MBA at Harvard Business School. He subsequently embarked on a career at Procter & Gamble after winning a place on their trainee scheme. 8 years later, while working for P&G in the US, he moved to the retailer Amazon in Seattle as the general manager running its DVD business. 2 years later, he returned to the UK as Vodafone's marketing chief. 2 years later again, he became the company's global marketing director. Lance left Vodafone in 2006 to set up his own personal computing troubleshooting company, the PC Guys, which grew rapidly across England before being purchased a year later by Tesco. And soon after, Lance became marketing director of Tesco plc. In 2008, he became the CEO of Tesco Telecom, drawing on the experience developed at Vodafone. Then, in 2011, he was appointed the CEO of Domino's Pizza Group. His performance at Domino's was praised as he oversaw a period of strong growth there. Unsurprisingly, he was headhunted in 2014 for his current position as Group Chief Executive of Saga plc. Lance once said, the more people you meet, the more opportunities you create in life. A headhunter he'd spoken to many years earlier asked about his other interests. He told them he was fascinated by art and visited galleries all over the world. 5 years later, the National Gallery asked them to find a business person passionate about art. Lance is now the trustee of the National Gallery, as well as a council member of the White Ensign Association. And now, to add to all of these achievements, we are delighted that he has agreed to accept an honorary fellowship at Aberystwyth University. Chancellor, it is with great pleasure I present Lance Bachelor to you as a Fellow of Aberystwyth University. Ganghello, mae'n bleser gen I gyflwyno Lance Bachelor yn Gymraeg.
The camera. I'm going to say one word. Da gan y Brifysgol, dy dderbyn yn Gymrawd. Llongyfarchiadau.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, thank you. Sophie, thank you very, very much for that very flattering introduction. I've been told I'm to limit myself to 5 minutes, and I promise to do that. But there are 4 things I'm really keen to say to you all today. Probably the most important thing I want to say is well done. Congratulations. It's a really, really big day in your lives. You should just take that moment to pause, think about where you are right now, enjoy the moment, and savor it. It's a heck of an achievement, and it's a fantastic start to the rest of life. I might not sound at all Welsh, and I'm London-born, but I have a real soft spot for Wales. Not only did I have 3 incredibly happy years here at Aberystwyth, and this might surprise you a little bit, I am a Welsh citizen, and I served for 3 years in the Welsh Navy. Now that might sound a little bit hard to get your head around, but let me explain. During the 3 years that I spent here at Aber, every Wednesday I used to drive down to Cardiff, and I served as a young Navy officer with the Royal Navy Reserve Unit down in Barry Island. Everyone else on the ship with me was Welsh. I was the only Englishman on board, and to my enormous pride and pleasure, the sailors on board, after 2 years, decided that I wasn't all that bad for an Englishman, and they awarded me my Welsh citizenship, which I have on the wall at home, proudly next to my Aberystwyth degree. As some of you may know, in order to be awarded Welsh citizenship, you have to drink, I think it was 2 pints of Brains Bitter, whilst blindfolded, and catch a leak in your teeth as it comes past. I'm going to come back to that leak in a moment. After the Navy, I went on to a career in business, and many of you in this room will do the same. Of course, there are people in the room who are going to be doctors and dentists and teachers and professors and lawyers and all kinds of amazing things. But the reality is that in any group of graduates of this kind of size, about half or more than half of you will end up in some kind of a business role. And I wanted to spend 1 minute just saying to you that business sometimes gets a bad rap these days. Journalists don't like business, and some businessmen and women don't always get a great reputation for business. But I've spent 25 years working in and running companies, and I can tell you it's tremendous fun. There are very few places in life where you can go, and in a single day, you can mix up strategic thinking, financial thinking, leadership, creativity, a bit of an artistic streak, politics, and so on, all in a single day. If your chance comes to take a role somewhere in business, whether in a startup or a small business or a big company, I urge you to give it a shot, jump in, and give it 100%. Of course, it's not just about what you get from business, it's about what you give too. As the Chancellor said earlier on, life is not just about what you can take from it, it's enormously about what you can give to it as well. And one of the ways to get business a great reputation is to ensure that a lot of your time and effort goes into looking after the people who work with you, looking after the communities that you serve, and always trying to do the right thing. The last thing I'm going to say to you is give it 100%. Life is not a rehearsal. Get out there, jump in deep, give it 100% effort and focus and energy, and I can promise you that you get much, much more back than if you just go along for the ride. So my parting word to you would be enjoy today, be proud, go for it in life. I wish you all the very, very best, and may you always, always catch the leak in your teeth. Thank you.
Gangethlor is gangethlor, darpar raddedigion, gaffelion. Pleasure o'r riaf o'r gyfflinio i'r athro Martin Conway in Gymraedd Prifysgol Aberystwyth. Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, prospective graduates and supporters, it is an honour and a privilege to present Professor Martin Conway as a Fellow of Aberystwyth University. A pupil at Ardwyn Grammar School for its last year, Martin Conway attended the then newly established Ysgol Penglais High School from 1973 to 1979. As in my own case, earlier at Lancaster Royal Grammar School, Martin Conway was blessed here with an inspirational history teacher who crucially influenced our new honorary fellows' life choices, education, and later professional direction. Martin Conway enjoys an international scholarly reputation. He has long been among the United Kingdom's most diligent and eminent historians of 20th century political Catholicism, Europe's right-wing politics and social movements. He is Britain's foremost authority on modern Belgium and on Belgium's complex and sometimes conflictual politics of regionalism and languages. Professor Conway has authored outstanding books, from his collaboration in Belgium, Leon de Grelle and the Rexist Movement, 1940 to 1944, published in 1993 by Yale University Press, and his Catholic Politics in Europe, 1918 to 45, to Europe in Exile, European exile communities in Britain from 1940 to 1945. More recently, his books include Europeanization in the 20th Century and The Sorrow of Belgium, Liberation and Political Reconstruction, 1944 to 1947, published by Oxford University Press. A scholar of deep humanity and a magnificent example of the good academic citizen, Professor Conway is held in high esteem. But this is not just down to his books, but to his selfless contributions to learning and to the wider United Kingdom historical profession. Nowhere has this been more apparent than in his 10 years of dedicated service editing the English Historical Review, the Taid or Dadki, if you will, the granddaddy of our historical journals. Not least of all, the international reputation of Professor Conway is evidenced by his election in 2007 to the Académie Royale de Belgique, the Francophone Belgian Royal Academy. This is a distinction that is as exceptional as it is rare. And so, Gangelor, mae pleasure gan eich gyffeion i'r athro Martin Conway i'ch i'r Gynrad. Chancellor, it is my absolute pleasure to present you Professor Martin Conway as a Fellow of Aberystwyth University.
da gan y Brifysgol, dy dderbyn yn gymrawd. Llongyfarchiadau.
Ganghellor i ganghellor. Braint mawr yw derbyn gymrorol o'r iaith hon gan y Brifysgol. Brifysgol sy'n anwyl i mi gan mae hon yw fy nhref enedigol, hefyd oherwydd mae yn y sefydliad hwn y dysgodd fy nhad am flynyddoedd lawer. Rwyf yn wirioneddol ddiolchgar. How any of this happened to me is probably a bit of a surprise. You may think that this building and this place and this small town has many good memories for you, but it may also have some slightly embarrassing ones. Well, imagine if you had spent most of your teenage years within 400 or 500 yards of this place, in the sense that I went to Penglais School, which is almost visible up the road. I was born and brought up in Danacoed, which is just down the road. My father taught in some of these buildings, and this hall was the scene of some of my worst musical experiences. No, it is a place, Aberystwyth, which inevitably, if you've grown up here, has a whole number of ghosts about it. And I think it would have been pretty much impossible for me as a 17 or 18-year-old playing timpani rather badly in youth orchestras in this hall to imagine that I would have had the future that I had. And I think you may recall that David Cameron threw at Tony Blair at his last Prime Minister's questions, "You were the future ones." Well, I think that what is distinctive about receiving this sort of honour is it does bring home to you that perhaps if you did have a future, it was in the past. And actually, that is probably what distinguishes the people on the stage from the people on the hall. Your brilliant futures lie ahead of you. We like to think, as historians, that we are, in some ways, useful, and we ought to be quite good at thinking about our own lives, because this is something that we can do in retrospect. And I can certainly play that game. I can certainly point to people and to places and moments that had a great deal of influence upon me. And one genuine surprise and pleasure about being here today is to discover that one of my former primary school teachers, Rhiannon Steeds, is sitting immediately to my right. Rhiannon was the teacher in my top year at primary school, during which, and she probably won't remember this, she got the whole class working on a project on reincarnation, which was thought at the time in Aberystwyth around 1970 to be really rather subversive and had to be kind of packaged around with lots of warnings that this was not anti-Christian teaching. Because Aberystwyth in the 1970s was a strange combination of a place. It was on the one hand a very open place that I think was more cosmopolitan and more diverse than many other places in Wales, but it was still somewhere very rooted in a very strongly felt and very distinctive Welsh tradition. And when I moved eventually up the hill to Penglais, I had, I think, the privilege in many ways to be in that sort of community, a community that was at once diverse and one that was also rooted in particular values. Martin was kind enough to mention my history teacher, a man called David Russell Barnes, who certainly did have a major influence on me when I was at school. But I think the greater influence on me at school, and one you may be able to recognize from your own university years, is that it isn't particular individuals that have such a great impact, but the wider culture within which you swim. And I think that what I know of Aberystwyth now as a place that I continue to come back to regularly is that it remains, both as a university and as a town, a place that gives you a great number of invisibles alongside the visibles of awards and certificates. Education, of course, can only take us so far, and I'm very conscious of how my life, through a combination of inevitable fortunes and misfortunes, has actually taken me in directions that I would not have anticipated. So please listen to what the Chancellor has said to you today about the way in which this university and this institution, and as I would stress also this community, has given you various tools. But they are tools that you then use to surf along in various ways which you cannot predict. Much more than giving you qualifications and the ability to do things, it's given you a way to think about things and to make something of what life throws at you. Congratulations.
Yn rydeddus is gan hethlo cyflwyno fe chi fyfyrwyr o'n prifysgol ni a yn ithlo radd baglo yn y calfod yr ar. Lisa Owajobi. Nicholas Charles Boudier. Caitlin Louise Evans. James McGrath. Max Petch. Christopher Adams. Emma Sally Albert. Gabriella Alexander. Jessica Sue Asprey. Teresa Atutu. Thomas David Austin. Jacob Birch. Sophie Bywater. Faith Rhiann Capener. Tabitha Kim Childs. Matthew Clayton. Lauren Clinch. Robert Martin Codd. Jordan John Connor Ricard. Christopher Richard Dane. Sarah Jane Darby. Abigail Caitlin Davis. Nathaniel Olaf Davis. Thomas Lloyd Davis. Charlotte Jane Dawes. Peter Devonshire. Samuel Dryden. Rosie Dudley. Timothy James Eldon. Charlotte Michelle Fennell. Alexander Dillon Gray. William Green. Ashley Griffiths. Emily Griffiths. Alice Karen Gwyn Jones. Thomas Hanson Bradbeer. Daniel Simon Paul Harper. Matthew Hawkins. Ellen Mererid Osmond Hughes. Ryan Hines. Joseph Jamie Jenkins. Robert Jones. Alexandra Margaret Lakeland Reed. Emma Grace Levy. Joseph Charlie Mossop. Joseph Nicholson. Sean Nolan. Penelope Eve Nuttall. Erin Angharad Owen. Sian Ann Owen. Ashley James Phelan. Joshua Popplewell. Jack William Renshaw. Theon Eluned Roberts. Adam Ryan. Harley Lacey Sayer. Louise Charlotte Scott. Kate Laura Selwyn. Sophie Alexandra Shaw. Bethan Jane Skye. Callum Daniel Smith. Jessica Smitten. Abraham Alexander Oliver Piran Somers Cox. Joshua Sudbury. William Angus Thompson. Rachel Jade Tyler. Richard Winnett. Jacob Wilkes. Gwion Llwyd Williams. Nathan Williams. Poppy Williams. Oliver Tobias Wilson. Ashley Wood. Hannah Young. Hannah Biffle Vaughan. Libby Rose Holmes. Jessica Kingdon. Samantha Moore. Lana Nelson Smith. Holly Pierce. Martin Ziembler. Emily Lauren Terry Macaulay. Gwern William ap Gwyn. Lucy Brown. Nicholas Emmanuel Daniel Spanos. Kieran Charlesworth. Ellen Harve Thomas. Jordan Clark. Evelyn Curl. Eleanor Constance Hamilton Durant. Emily Jane Haycock. James Morley. Joseph Callum O'Connell. Teresa Riley. Matthew Jones. James Alexander Lewis. Paul Baxendale. Thomas Darby. Antonius Daniel Hufnagel Amthor. Richard Alexander Jefferson. Jenny Marie Lomax. Rebecca Elizabeth Smith. Gavin Tulsey.
Thomas James Wright.
Troi awdurdod y brifysgol a ymthiriedwyd I mi, dybaniaf chwi I radd baglo am y celfyddydau ac I hoff ffreniau'r radd hon.
Boed eich gofal yn wastad dros lwydd ac anrhydedd ein prifysgol a'n gwlad.
Anrydeddus is gan hethlwch o floenaf I chi, fyfyrwyr o'n prifysgol ni, a'n ithlodd radd baglo mewn ystyddiaethau, economaidd a cymdeithasol. Kieran Owen.
Troi awdurdod y brifysgol a ymthiriedwyd I mi, dybaniaf chwi I radd baglo mewn ystudiaethau economaidd a chymdeithasol ac I hoff ffreniau'r radd hon.
Boed eich gofal yn wastad dros lwydd ac anrhydedd ein prifysgol a'n gwlad.
Anrhydeddus is gan gechlor. Gyflwynaf I chi, fyfyrwyr o'n brifysgol ni, a'n nithlodd radd, baglor a'n y celfyddydau. Lily Nur Izzati binti Adam Sukarno. Jacob Andreas Albonius. Christopher Banks. Sophie Sumrak Beckett. Joe Collinge. Bethany Ann Dogweiler. Nora May Engeseth. David Esser. Matthew Anthony Foley. Samuel David Forster. Alexander Freeney. William Mark Griffiths. David Hawes. Muhammad Hamizan bin Haj Asman Nulhadi. Joanna Jones. Hugh Tyrion Iago Kerr. James Nill. Tom Ellerton McCandless. Morgan Frank Mitchell.
Rhoi awdurdod y brifysgol a ymtheriedwyd I mi, dybaniaf chwi I radd baglo yn y celfyddydau ac I hoff ffreniau'r radd hon.
Bod eich gofal yn wastad dros lwydd ac anrhydedd ein prifysgol a'n gwlad.
nithlo gradd baglwr yn y cyflygydau. Caswani Liana Nasir Putra. Ross Payton. Mackenzie Peace. Oleg Ratcliffe. Michael Rose. Matthew James Sidaway. Judah Skelly. Alexander Smith. Megan Rhiannon Mariscone. Jake Wall. Jonathan Windmill. Darren Jakeman. Rachel Ann Booth. Keely Cross. Lauren Ann Margaret Dawson. Carwyn David Roberts. William Adams. Arif Adi Putera Anwar. Jack Raymond Britton. Nicholas Atlet Brooch. Max Alexander Chan Kwok Chong. Rosemary Caroline Ann Evans. Kelly Furlong. Alice Katie Hodges. Jessica Jones. Macy O'Brien. Frederick Stanton. Matthew Thomas. Mark Rees, Alfred Evans. George Springer. Sayaga Yanagida. Hayden Allbrow. Alistair Brown. Andrew Robert Clay. Hamish Collins. Gregory Epps. Alistair William Thomas Green. Adam James Hooper. Joseph Johnson. Matthew Jordan Langrish. Daniel Mooney. Matthew Papworth. Arthur Rowlands. Aaron Wilkins. Dewi Ellis Cornish. William George Goodman. Connor Kingston Gray. Anthony David Griggs. Tyler Anthony Hoyle. Owain Hughes. Gareth Daniel Michael Jenkins. James Peter Suffield Lee. Kieran Meredith. Thomas Richard Ross. William Marcus Sage. Bryn Thomas. Charles Whiteway. Alan Ryan Bauman. Stefania Ruth Cepturiano. Samuel Joseph Hurl Smales. Benjamin Soanes. Emma Victoria Sutton. James Chamberlain. Catherine Bryony Conroy. Heather Louise Crooks. Robert Alexander McLean. Thomas Russon Day. Oscar Taylor Topchuoklu.
Rhoi awdurdod y brifysgol yn threadwyd I mi, dybanu af chwi I radd baglo yn y celfyddydau ac I hoff ffrenia radd hon.
Boed eich gofal yn wastad dros lwydd ac anrhydedd ein prifysgol a'n gwlad.
rydedus is Cangellor, gyflwyn a fi chi fyfyrwyr o'n prifysgol ni yn enillod radd baglor mewn ystudiadau academaidd a cymdeithasol. Abraham. Cerys Arian Davies. Nicholas Alexander Saunders. Marko Nemčić. Nicholas Williams. Samuel Patrick Jackson. Bryony Molly Elizabeth Basterfield. Sean Davies. Daniel Rees Evans. Chris Locke. Kyle Park. Ai Hasegawa. Jake Ralph. Matthew Carpenter. Michael Edward Chown. Lawrence C.J. Wedderburn.
Trwy awdurdod y brifysgol a ymthriedwyd I mi dibaniaf chwi I radd baglo mewn ystudiaethau economaeth a chymdeithasol ac I hoff ffrenia radd hon.
Boed eich gofal yn wastad dros lwydd ac anrhydedd ein prifysgol a'n gwlad.
Anrydeddus is Ganghellor, cyflwyno fe chi fyfyrwyr o'n prifysgol ni a enillodd radd athro yn y Calfyddydau. Kezia Garrett Smithson. Gareth Rhys Marshall. Flossie Celia Baldock. Lucian Fiona Walther. Rodri Aled Evans. Bethan Sean Jones. Nicola May Hole. Abigail Louise Monk. John Mousley. David Salter. Hannah Catherine Cumming. Thomas Goodwin. Hannah Michaela Johnson. Jessica Powell.
Rhoi awdurdod y brifysgol a ymthoriedwyd I mi dybaniaf chwi I radd athro yn y celfyddydau ac I hoff ffreniau'r radd hon.
Croeso eto, da gan y brifysgol eich derbyn yn athrawon.
Yn rydeddus is ganghellwch o floen a fe chi fyfyrweg o'n prifysgol ni a enillodd radd doedde mewn athroniaeth. Freya Kimberley Cosgrove.
Rhoi awdurdod y brifysgol a ymthoriedwyd I mi dybaniaf chwi I radd dweithio mewn athroniaeth ac I hoff ffreniau'r radd hon.
Croeso eto, da gan y brifysgol eich derbyn yn ddwythyr. Llongyfarchiadau.
Yn driddeddus is gan gechlor, gyflwyno fi chi fyfyrwyr o'n brifysgol ni yn enillodd radd athro yn ei gylfeddydau. Philip Aaron Bowes. Jack Carter. Joseph Malinder. Russell Shanks. Oshan Claire Evans. Matthew Palmer. Andrzej Mendel Nukarovich. Jonathan Paul Firth. Adriana Elżbieta Kapek. Katarzyna Izabela Pogorzelska. Elizabeth Joan Kwanzaa. Sarah Then Berg. Alexander Williams. Dennis Rach. Alistair Bowie. Callum Davidson.
Troi awdurdod y brifysgol, ymthiriedwyd I mi dibynniaf chwi I radd athro yn y celfyddydau ac I holl ffreniau'r radd hon.
Croeso eto, da gan y brifysgol eich derbyn yn athrawon.
Yn 30 Isgangellor, gyflwyna fi chi fyfyrwyr o'n brifysgol ni yn enithlod radd athro mewn gwydoniaeth. Amy Victoria Hale. Kultum Olabisi Kamarudin. Hannah Pole. Lowry Thomas.
Troi awdurdod y brifysgol a ymthiriedwyd I mi dibynniaf chwi I radd athro mewn gwyddoniaeth ac I holl ffreniau'r radd hon.
Croeso eto, da gan y brifysgol eich derbyn yn athrawon.
Andrydedus Isgangellor, gyflwyna fi chi fyfyrwyr o'n brifysgol ni yn enithlod rad dwythwr mewn athroniaeth. Ira Pliatka. Florian Edelman. Michelle Lynette Jones. Alexandros Koutsoukis. Divan Heath Powell. Matthew Rees. Kola Zafra Davies.
Troi awdurdod y brifysgol ymthiriedwyd I mi dibynniaf chwi I radd dwythio mewn athroniaeth ac I holl ffreniau'r radd hon.
Croeso eto, da gan y brifysgol eich derbyn yn ddoethuriaid o'n gyfarchadau.
And now all that stands between the ceremony and your personal celebrations are a few words from me, and I promise you I won't keep you long. Mae dau ddigwyddiaeth yn y flwyddyn academaeth rwy'n mwynhau has seen you transition, no longer students, but rather graduates. You've been given some really good advice by our fellows today, and I won't repeat that. Beyond saying it's a special time for you, look forward and enjoy the journey of life. Take in your stride what comes. But today I want to say thank you for choosing Aberystwyth. Over the years, now more than 140, it's the people, the students, the staff, and the local community who have made the university such a special place. Friends of mine who have worked and studied here always talk about the very special relationships you make here. They meet up for years and years. While other friends who haven't studied here comment on the depth of relationships their Aber alumni friends have. You are now part of our worldwide community of alumni, and there are opportunities to engage with them wherever you go. I trust that you will keep contact with your friends and with us. Let us know how you are getting on, and remember to come back to visit. For me, as the new Vice-Chancellor, I have appreciated the very warm welcome I've received from staff, students, and the local community. It's been a real pleasure to start to build relationships with all of you, and I look forward to doing so in the future. Looking forward, there are, of course, challenges for the university, as there are for every university. Our task here is to ensure the future of the university in this wonderful location. We are known for our friendliness, our creativity, and our curiosity in the vibrant bilingual culture in which we live. And it is on these characteristics that we will seek to build the university as we prepare our graduates, you, for the next stage in your life. Pob lwc I chi wrth I chi gychwyn ar eich bywyd wedi'r brifysgol. Good luck to you as you start your post-university life. Now, I have just a few more things to do this afternoon. The first is to present an Aberystwyth University Exemplary Course Award to Brieg Powell. Brieg, could you just come and receive this from me? Now that is an award for one of the best modules delivered in the university, and I think you can see from the response of the students that Brieg is clearly a popular and effective teacher. Thank you very much. Now, today is the last day of ceremonies for the class of 2017. So this is the 8th we've done this week. And so I would like to say a very big diolch yn fawr to a number of people who have made these ceremonies so successful. It's impossible to name everyone, but you will have encountered many, but there's been a lot of work going on behind the scenes as well. So, from the staff who helped you find somewhere to park your car, and I know today was particularly challenging, and find your way here, to the registry staff who've made sure that your exams were processed on time and your certificates were ready, to everyone who has made the venue ready, the sound staff, the lighting staff, the photography, the marshals. Now, I understand the marshals have been doing 8,000 steps a day in taking you in and out of your seats. To the design and print team who have produced the brochures at remarkably short notice and to a lovely standard. To our organist and to the madrigal singers, thank you very much. It was very enjoyable, including the one who got his degree today. Well done. To Kim Broom and her team, who have just worked so hard to make sure you've all had your tickets, and their very great attention to detail. Thank you all very, very much. And of course, to the staff and the departments who have worked with you over the years, thank you too. And I've one last thank you today. Today is the last ceremony at which our Chancellor, Sir Emyr Jones-Parry, will preside. Emyr, would you please stand? Emyr has been our Chancellor and Chair of Council for 10 years, and that is a huge commitment to give the university. We're very grateful to you for everything you've given us. You're not leaving us now, but we can't let the ceremony go past without noting your very great achievement for the university. Thank you very much, Chancellor. Just to remind you that we're doing the photographs inside today, so if your family, friends and supporters at the end of the ceremony would like to leave, and if you would like to stay to have the photographs taken, then we'll get the record of you as cohorts of students. Thank you. Ac yn ar I orffen y seremoni awnewch chi ymuno gyda fi i'r ganu'r anthem cenedlaethol. And now, to finish the ceremony, would you join with me by standing to sing the National Anthem of Wales, and then to remain standing. Diolch yn fawr.
Thank you.